Thank you to everyone that has come back. Please let us share the joining links with our colleagues and call them that we'll be starting very soon at 11 o'clock. Fields to brands, the business of agro-processing and value addition.
There's a story to be told, a future to behold. There is more to who we are than what they hear. We have love within our soul, fire in our bones. We've got everything it takes to make it here. There's much more within our soil, more than just our oil. We can grow the food to feed the whole world square. Agriculture is the key. There's treasure in the trees. The time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. This is our nation, this is our land. Nigeria is ours. We have everything we need if we
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I just want to be sure I'm being heard. Hello, hello, hello. Am I being heard?
Okay, while we wait for Stanley Yeche to join, good morning, everyone. If you were in the previous section on agrofinance, please make a comment in the section, in the chat box rather. What did you think about the previous session? How was it? Did it answer your questions? And then if you're joining us for the first time at the Business of Agriculture Masterclass 3.0, it's never too late. It's never too late. Today is the final day, but it's never too late to join. We have 2 great sessions today, that we still have left. So please make a comment in the chat box. I'm assuming I can be heard because it's quiet. Okay, I'll hand over to Stanley now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tosin. Thank you so much. And same way you are assuming you are heard by all and sundry. That's where I was initially, because I was wondering why there was no comments, no response of any kind. But you are well heard. And I also believe that I'm heard, right? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, so you're all welcome to, good morning once again, and you are welcome to this particular section of the Business of Agriculture Masterclass 3.0, proudly sponsored, organized by United Nations Private Sector Advisory Group Cluster 5. So they are responsible, the organizers of this masterclass, when implemented by New Nigerian Foundation. So a good big thank you. If you are there from the chat box, I want you to say big thank you to PSAG, okay, for organizing this virtual class. They have been doing this. This is the 3rd in a series, and it's just a platform, an opportunity, a master class to provide opportunity for people on how they can leverage on the opportunities in the business of agriculture. So a big welcome. Thank you. You use thumbs up to appreciate PSAG, all right, for organizing this program. Thank you. Now, if you are joining us for the first time, I want to say that my name is Stanley, and I am a Senior Program Officer by Providence, a Senior Program Officer with New Nigerian Foundation. I'm here to anchor this particular section, so feel relaxed. In case you are just joining us, we just had the last section this morning, or the first section this morning, being anchored by Mr. Fred, and a resound facilitator or a resource person that came on board by Nosa, who handled a very important section for those of us who want to leverage on the business of agriculture or want to move into agriculture. We talked about funding, all right, how to invest in agriculture, sources of funding available to us, and how we can prepare our businesses in order to attract funding from sources that should be able to help our businesses. In case you miss any of these sections or the last section, or you mixed any of this session, please, you can have a replay at the Facebook page of PSAG, right? You can get there, or also link the YouTube channels. Okay, you can have your replay there. Alternatively, you can subscribe right now to the channel such that whenever a session is beginning, you should be able to be notified. Just like Tosin has just said here, okay, it's never too late. Though the program is ending today, but in any case, it's never too late. In a sense that there are 2 more sessions. It's a session after this that's going to come, right? So that you can still leverage on. I want you to do me a favor by calling those of your friends who you know that are part of this program. You can share this link so they'll be able to join this particular session. So thank you for being part of this program, and the rest assured that you're going to gain value. Like I said, the last session I was just handled by Nusa, how to deal with, talked about funding in agriculture, how you get funding, how do you attract, how do you position your business? Because usually, like Mr. Fred said, that funding in that, you need to get that particular, if you mixed it, you need to get that section because it is key. Finance is key in the industry because they say that funds is the elephant in the house. So without much ado, we'll move into what we have here. If you are joining us for the first time, please, you are going to gain value in this program, like I just mentioned. Now, we will be looking at the topic this moment, which is already there. We shall be looking at the ocean. We shall be looking at a value addition in agriculture. Yes, thank you so much. We shall be looking at what from fields to brands. Thank you. From fields to brand, business of agri-processing, value addition. You see, that was 2 days ago. For those of us who were in this call, we will understand that Chioma came on board and mentioned that the problems of agriculture, the problems of people are having in agriculture, sometimes, especially in this part of the world, is the issue of post-harvest loss, which is key. Most people go out of agriculture because of the issue of post-harvest loss. So in that session, it was dealt with on how you can preserve. But here again, we're talking about value addition, which might be like an offshoot of that particular value chain, that issue. So here, we should be looking at how do we add value to the process we're having? How do we increase the value of what we should be getting from our product? And we have a resource, before I bring them on board, they are just here. Before I bring them to have an interlude session whereby the PSG, right, just would be, just need a credit to our sponsors of this program, right, PSAG, right, cluster 5, just a session, an interlude. When we come back, we'll be able to introduce them, okay, we'll introduce our resource persons. But for now, I want to credit to our interlude, to our sponsors of this program. Is that possible?
About the United Nations Private Sector Advisory Group. About the United Nations Private Sector Advisory Group, PSAG, Nigeria Cluster 5. The PSAG Nigeria Cluster 5 is committed to achieving the targets of the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. The former Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, inaugurated the PSAG Nigeria Cluster 5 in February 2017, comprising primarily private sector organizations and corporate foundations. Nigeria became the first UN member to inaugurate a local PSAG, mirroring the UN SDG Fund PSAG, i.e., PSAG Global, and other UN initiatives. The PSAG Nigeria works closely with the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs, OSIP SDGs, and the UN to ensure that the global goals are achieved in Nigeria. The PSAG Nigeria Cluster 5, the driver of the Business of Agriculture Masterclass, covers agribusiness and the manufacturing sector. The cluster is focused on SDG 2, Zero Hunger, and SDG 12, Responsible Consumption and Production.
You're welcome back. Please, I need, because of internet, we're in a very good climb, so most times we are not sure of the connectivity, but rest assured, if you can hear me, please, I need a signal that indeed you are hearing me. Can you hear me? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Okay, this section has two resource persons that will be doing justice to the business of adding value or value addition in this particular call, masterclass. And those two resource persons will do great justice to it. Now, before I introduce them, I want you to understand that, look, there are two, the two resource persons will be making presentation, right? The first will be presentation, and thereafter you can ask a question. The next person wouldn't be presenting, okay? And then we will, at the end of it all, ask some questions. But be rest assured that you are going to gain value in this particular call. Now, I want to introduce my resource persons. The first person is Mrs. Rotimi. All right, is she here? Is she here with me?
Okay, so it's Mr. Rotimi Olawale. He's here to join the call. Please go on with Mrs. Adebisi Ganiya Tolatunde. Thank you.
Okay, so now, like the session we are having here has been projected, we are dealing with what from fish to brands. It's a simple thing. What that simply means is that from a cultivation, from your feed, from your products, how do you process them? How do you add value to them in a way that they become marketable, that people will be able to appreciate your product and you gain value from the product? So the business of agri-processing and value addition. Okay, so I want us to understand the fact that the two resource persons, the next person is at DBC, all right? Can we have him on? Let's be sure we have him so I can introduce him to the call. Okay, thank you so much. Now, before I read his profile, please, I want everyone here to be able to say thank you, ma'am, for joining here because she has been a regular hand. She has been consistent in this course. So let's should be able to, with your best emoji, what is your best emoji? What's your, how can you appreciate her warm welcome to this station now? Mr. Debisi, all right, Olatunde, is a seasoned entrepreneur, right? Serving as the founder and CEO, Chief Executive Officer of Baby Foods Limited. She holds a HND in Secretarial Administration, BSc in Business Administration, and MBA in Human Resources. Extensive background includes a 15-year career in the banking industry. She will tell us about that. And in 2021, she made a deliberate shift into agribusiness and entrepreneurship, resigning voluntarily from her banking position to focus on the growth of her business. Now, you can understand such a person resigning from her business, all right, from a paid work into agriculture to pursue her business and her business growth. Now, Mrs. Adebisi Ganiya is here today to do justice to this program and then add value. Tell us how we can add value. Tell us how we can add value to the program. Now, let's continue, right? Her true passion lies in realizing vision of establishing a thriving market for local farmers by procuring their produce and converting it into good foods. That's her nature, her passion. It's also talking about how to minimize post-harvest loss in the sense that our local farmers, right, should be able to have off-takers in ways that their markets, their products would not be a waste of time, a waste of value, a waste of resources. This not only benefits farmers, but also provides employment opportunities for the youth. And ABC unwavering dedication to agriculture, agribusiness, and entrepreneurship, and her commitment to enhancing her community and nation make her a notable figure in agri-world. With a kind permission, join me and welcome Mrs. Adebisi Ganiat Olatunde to this session. You're welcome, ma'am. Good to have you here.
Good day, everyone. Can you hear me? I'd like to know if I'm not talking to myself.
No, I can hear you, and I just hope that every other person here is hearing you. Okay,
can everyone hear me?
Okay, ma'am, without much ado, please, is the other guest here so that I should recognize him while I ask you to go on?
Please go on, Stanley. Please go on. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Olatunde, we can all hear you, and the chat section is also, buzzing that yes, we can. So please go on. Thank you very much.
It's okay, very much. So, ma'am, thank you. The floor is yours at this point.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for having me on this call. I must commend the organizers of this program. I've been part of this program since Tuesday, and I must confess, and I can attest to it, that it's been a value-added program all the way. My name is Adebisi Olatunde. I'm the CEO and the founder of Abebi Foods Limited, where we process and package Nigerian foodstuff. My business is as old as my age, and like I used to tell people, I've been in business for decades, right from childhood. I was born into this business, and it's a kind of inherited business. And to the glory of God, we've been scaling up. Before now, I was a staff of the bank for 15 years, and 5 years before my exit, a voluntary resignation from the bank, I started my business, and I was running the business as a side hustle while I was still in the bank. It was quite easy for me because I was able to manage my time. And sometimes towards the end of 2021, that was when I felt my business needed me, and we have grown to a level, we have made mistakes, we have corrected some of the mistakes that we have made. And I resigned from the bank to join the business as the Chief Executive Officer. I'd like to say thank you for this topic that they've given me. It is what I know how to do best. This is what I do every day. We move from field to brands. And if you look at, I have a few slides to explain this topic. And my first slide, if you look at this first slide, I have 3 pictures there. And these 3 pictures is a summary of what I'm going to discuss today. We're going to do it together. It's going to be an interactive session. The first picture here is the field. If you see, you will see that it's a farm. I'll represent this picture with JR Farm, who is my co-panelist here. So we buy raw material from the farmers who we see as our partners. So we buy our raw materials from the farm, and we move it to the factory where we have machines that we use to process. And these machines, it could be locally fabricated machine, and some of our machines are also imported. But we ensure that 85% of our equipment are locally fabricated, so that we can also support our locally fabricators in what they are doing. So we process those agricultural farm produce that we bought from the farm and process it at this stage, the processing stage, and straight to branding, where we package and give it a new look. And at this stage, we will be adding value to the product. When we get raw material from the farm, that's the primary produce, but by the time we process it, we have added value to it. And when you add value to it, you have increased the marketability of that product. You have increased the pricing of the product. You have also increased the shelf life of that product. So this is where value addition comes in agro-processing. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Hello?
They are changing it.
Okay.
Manuela, next slide, please. Thank you.
Okay, while we wait for Emanuela, since I am the author of that slide, I don't know if I can go on.
Please, by all means, go on, ma'am, please.
Okay. So the next slide has to do with the introduction. Okay, the next slide is will be showing us the overview of what we are going to talk about today. We'll be talking about the introduction, which where we'll be talking about agro-processing. What is agro-processing and the value addition? We'll talk about the benefits inherent in agro-processing business. We have so many benefits in agro-processing. We'll talk about the business opportunities that are available in agro-processing space. We'll also talk about challenges. Of course, there are challenges everywhere, irrespective of the business or the field or space you find yourself. There are challenges, but there's one thing to identify the challenges, and there's another thing. It's another thing to provide solution to those challenges. How do we overcome all these challenges? And we also talk about as agro-processor in the next 3, 4, 5 years, where do we find ourselves? What is the future of agro-processing? Now let's talk about the introduction. What do we mean by agro-processing? Agro-processing is simply the conversion, the transformation of agricultural produce to finished products, but that finished consumable food. But those finished products, it could be semi-finished products, it could be ready-to-eat products. In the case of our baby foods, we convert agricultural produce to semi-finished products. I give an example on our plantain flour. We buy the unripe plantain from the farmers. It goes through a series of processes, and before it becomes flour, and we package in different pack sizes. And those sizes, you still need, when consumer buys our products, you still need to take it to your kitchen, do a kind of further processing before it becomes ready to eat. That's a kind of semi-finished products. But in the case of you buy plantain and you fry it in the kitchen, that's finished products. So you are good to go. So it can be semi-finished products, it can be finished products. So by the time you are converting it from the primary produce to finished products, you have added value to it. And like I said earlier, when you add value to any agricultural produce, you have increased the viability of that product. You have increased the shelf life of that product, the marketability of that product. It has also increased. You have added a lot of value to that product. So that is what we mean by agro-processing. And in agro-processing, there are lots of benefits inherent in agro-processing. When you increase the value of the products, obviously the price will change. When you buy, say, cassava from the farmer, the price that you buy cassava is different from the price that you pay for having packaged it. Because in cassava, you get a lot of varieties of diverse products in cassava. So when I buy cassava, I convert it to gari, I convert it to cassava starch. Of course, the price that I will pay for the fresh cassava is different from the price that I will pay for gari and cassava flour. So adding value to it will increase the price, the premium price of that product. Post-harvest losses. When you process your agricultural produce, you increase the value of that product. You have added value to it, and it will reduce the loss after harvesting. I give an example of tomato. We all know that we have many perishable products, especially potato. When you harvest potato, tomato, when you harvest tomato, within 48 or 72 hours, if you don't refrigerate it, it will get spoiled. But if you are able to reprocess, further processing, and you convert it to tomato paste, it can last for as long as you want, especially if you put it in a jar and you put it in your fridge or in your fridge. It will last for as long as you want it to be. So agro-processing helps to reduce post-harvest losses. I think I'm faster than the person that is opening my slide. Hello?
Sorry, please, we're experiencing some internet challenges. We sincerely apologize.
Okay.
It's okay, ma'am. You can just go on.
Okay, so employment opportunity is another benefit that is in agro-processing space. Of course, a tree can never make a forest. Agro-processing, you cannot do the job alone. You need staff, you need ad hoc staff, you need permanent staff that will work with you. So in agro-processing, we also help to reduce the rates of unemployment in the country because we have staff. When we started at Beekeeping about 7 years ago, we started with about 3 staff, and today we have 20 core staff, and ad hoc staff depend on the volume of activities or production that we have at hand. At times, we have up to 20, 30 ad hoc staff within our host community. So we do it as a kind of CSR, giving back to our host community. So employment opportunity is also a benefit in agro-processing. Diverse products. On Tuesday, when Niji was doing his presentation, I picked something from what he said about cassava plantation. There are lots of products in cassava, just one cassava, just like in our baby foods. At our baby food, cassava, we use cassava for gari, we use it for cassava starch, we use it for cassava flour. We also use it as an agent, as an agent of production in one of our products. It's a kind of raw material in one of our products. And I also learned that some people even use it for snacks. They use cassava as snacks. So just that's to tell you that in agro-processing, we have diverse products. It depends on the area that you want to pitch your tent. There are diverse products. If you want to use cassava for cassava flour, there are people that use cassava flour as their raw material. You will get market for it. You just need to be consistent and focus in your niche. Technology and innovation. Mr. Nonsa, or I think yesterday, somebody talked about technology in agriculture. Today, people are using drone technology in agriculture, in the farm to monitor, their plantation, just like an agro-processing. In those days, when you use manual processing, the quantity of product that they used to produce in those days is not as huge as what we do now. I give an instance. When we are peeling cassava, when we harvest, we offtake cassava from our farmers, we have manual peeling, which is being done by the ad hoc staff, and we also have peeling machine. When we use peeling machine to peel about, say, like 1 or 2 tons in less than 2 hours, the ad hoc staff are still battling with 500 kg, 3-4 hours, they are still there. But with the use of technology, the peeling machine, you just need to put the cassava in the machine, on the lights, and before you know it, the peeled cassava will be coming out from the funnel of that machine. That is the power of technology. Economic development. By the time you add value to all this farm produce, the primary products, you will be contributing to the growth of the economy in your nation. Next slide, please. Okay. There are business opportunities, a lot of business opportunities in agro-processing, a lot. And that's why my own area is foodstuff. It depends on the niche. All you need to do is to identify your niche. Which area do you want to focus on? When we started our business a few years ago, we used to buy unripe plantain. We'll peel ourselves, we will, slice, dry ourselves. But now, was it 3 years ago, a guy just walked up to our factory and brought a proposal. What he does was to offtake the unripe plantain from the farmer. He will peel and slice and dry. So he sells the dry flakes. That's a business opportunity. He is not into flour production, but he sells the dried flakes. And that's, we've been partnering with him for so long, and he sells in tons to us. So you need to identify your niche in agro-processing, be focused, consistent, and ensure that you have quality products. I tell people who cares to know that when you have quality products, you will do less work in terms of marketing, because the quality of your product will sell that product, and you continue to get referrals, because this Mr. A will tell Mr. B, Mr. B will this. It will continue like that, and you increase your sales. Exports is a very popular business. Export is another opportunity in agro-processing. I'm sure all of us that are conversant with social know that what the eating now. Every nook and cranny on social media, especially Instagram, everybody is coming up with training on export, training on export, because everybody wants to earn in dollars, and leveraging on the growing population of Nigerians in diaspora now. Those people, they look everywhere to get Nigerian products. They eat, some of them don't eat English food. They want to eat their products. They want to go back home, but unfortunately they cannot come back home. But wherever they see our products, they buy. So export is a business opportunity that one can easily look into, and it's what people are doing now. You don't have to have big money. Someone asked me one day, how can I start, how much can I use to start exports? Because I don't have money, I'm interested, I've gone through training. I've gone through training for years now, and you are still on, I want to train. How long? Start with what you have, where you are. You don't have to, have big money. You don't have to be great to start. You start and you become great on the job. So with exports is a business opportunity in agro-processing. Collaboration. Well, this is something, I put this collaboration because it's from my own experience. When I started my business, we were selling locally. But because of a very robust website that we had, we got a call from a diaspora customer, and that customer was interested in our products, but he doesn't want to set up a factory in Nigeria, but he was looking for a partner who can produce and brand for him in his name, a kind of contract packaging, white labeling. And this we started, and before we know it, we are shipping containers to him. So there's collaboration opportunity, there's networking that you can do that can give you a lot of money. Rather than saying you want to start from beginning and finish, you can partner with anybody. You can partner, it's just what they need. Those people in diaspora, what they need is your integrity. Even in Nigeria, you can partner with people. You don't have to start. The aspiring entrepreneurs that are mentored, you don't need to start, need to wait to buy big hammer mill. An hammer mill today will cost you about 3 million. You don't need to wait for that. Or because you don't have a sealing machine, you cannot start an agro-processing business. You want to know, buy from established agro-processing factory. Buy from them, repackage, use stickers, start from somewhere, whatever you have, wherever you are, you start and you scale up. Next slide, please. Well, in business, not only in agro-processing, in all business, there are challenges. Even life on its own is challenging. So there are challenges in any business that you find yourself. It now depends on that kind of business. But in agro-processing, the challenges that we have are so many, but because of the limited time that we have there, I will just mention few, and based on my experience. Market access is one of the major challenges that I faced as an aspiring entrepreneur, or who want to, somebody who wants to venture into agro-processing. Market accessment, market acceptability is going to be a major one for you. But if you do not give up, you will find your space in the market. I was faced with rejection. My product was rejected. You are entering a saturated market, an established market where people are well known and people with good brands, they are already there, and there was no, the customers are not complaining about their products. So for you to come and you want to compete with them, it will be a bit tough. It's going to be a tall order. But if you are consistent, if you have a good product, quality products, I kept emphasizing on quality of your products, you will go places. People will start looking for you. For about 6 months or a year, when I started my business, I was robbing Peter to pay Paul. What do I mean? I was using my first bank salary to pay my staff. I was using it to run the business. Aside from the investment, the capital that I used to take off, I was using any money that I see, I was using it to run the business, because this product was not accepted in the market. And all those market women will tell you all sorts of things that would discourage you. But because I was strongly determined, this market, those people that are in the market, they started one day. And I will also start one day, and I will not give up. So you need to be strongly determined in terms of market assessment. Quality control is another challenge. If you have, some people want to make profits that they are supposed to make in 1 year, they want to make it in 1 month, and they begin to adulterate their product. And when you adulterate your product and customer taste your product, yes, a customer can buy product worth of 500,000 at once. Yes, and you'll be happy that you have sold product worth of 500,000. But remember, the taste of that product will make that customer to come back. But if the quality of that product is bad, yes, the customer will lose that 500,000, but you are going to lose millions of naira. So ensure that you have quality products. Do not compromise your product because of the profit margin. If you make 100 naira on a carton in, say, like 100 places or like 500 places, it is better for you than to make 500 naira per carton, and you'll be selling about 50 cartons. It does not make any business sense, and it's going to be one-off, because no customer will come back to buy products that is not of high standard. And not only that customer, it will not only affect that customer, it will affect people around that customer, because that customer will be supposed to be your ambassador. So reverse will not be the case. If anybody wants to buy your product, they've said it before, it's not good, and they will drop your product. So be wary and be conscious of the quality of your product. Funding is a major challenge. Mr. Nonsad that spoke earlier, in fact, he has done justice to funding in agro-processing. In 2016, I started my business with my savings. And this is what I used to tell people. You don't start business with loan. It's an uncertain venture. You are not sure, even though you have done your research, you are used to the market, you know what is obtainable in the market, but you are still not sure. You are just coming in. You need to be careful. You don't go and put yourself in eternal debt because you want to start business that you don't know how profitable, how lucrative it is. Yes, anything can be lucrative, but you need to enter the business first. So you start a business, agro-processing business, with your savings. It is always good to approach the bank, and when it is the level, when your business has gotten to the level of expansion. Yes, no bank will even be willing to finance startup. They don't build where there's no foundation. Banks will not build where there's no foundation. You have to lay your bed. You have to lay that foundation and build on it. So when they see that the structure is going on and everything is looking rosy, you don't even need to go and look for them, except you want to. They will come and meet you, market you, they'll package you and they'll offer you everything. They will come. So it's good for you to start your business with your personal savings, or you can raise money from family and friends. But before you can raise money from family and friends, your integrity must be intact. Because even if you are my sister or my brother, if I cannot trust you with my 1,000, I cannot borrow you 1 million. So integrity is very key. And most financial institutions will look at your capacity to pay back. They will look at your business. So I tell most of my mentees that when you start your business, register your business, make it an official business, open a corporate account, start saving, proceed of your business, separate your business from the owner of the business, so that when the time comes that you need the documentation, because banks deal with documentation. I have done it, I have track record, they won't listen to you. What they see is physical structure, the activities that is going on in the factory, and your documents. So if you have your document, you have your account statements. In fact, you have done about 98% of the job. So they now look at the character of the person that wants to be the prime mover of the business. So it's always good to have your documentation right from day one. Competition is very, very key. Just like market access, there are so many people in the markets. In this agro-processing field, there are so many people with nice branding. So what do you want to tell them? That you are coming with your brand is, yes, your brand can be unique, but we are the people training the aspiring entrepreneur. Where do we want them to take the training to? The market. They are coming to compete with us. A colleague of mine told me sometimes and said, why am I training people online? That don't I know that I'm creating competition for myself? I said, with this population, if I don't teach them, they can teach themselves. The world is big enough. They can leverage on artificial intelligence, digital world, and they train themselves. What you need to do is not to sleep on your business, move. You need to get more informed. Adopt technology for your business to scale up. Competition will continue to be keen, it will continue to be stiff, more agro-processor will spring up. Every day entrepreneurs spring up every nook and cranny of this country. So it's not a big deal that there's competition. It makes it makes the business look good so that you will not relax. If you are compromising your quality and aspiring entrepreneurs, people are coming up with quality products, it will enable you to sit up and see where you can also close the gap so that they won't push you aside. That's the beauty of competition in any business. Next slide, please. Okay. We have identified the challenges and we need to find a way to overcome these challenges. How do we overcome challenges in agro-processing? The major thing that I used to tell people how to overcome challenges is strategic planning and to be well informed. That's just the basic thing. You need to plan ahead. Another challenge in agro-processing is climate change. And if you want to overcome the challenge of climate change, you plan ahead. You stock your product, you stock raw materials such that you hedge against the off-season, so that when there's peak period, you buy your raw materials. You have planned against saying no to your customer, because when you are in off-season and you don't have product to sell, and you are beginning to tell your customer, we don't have this, we don't have that, they will assume even when you have that you will not have. So it's always good to plan ahead. It's always very important to invest in technology. Technology has come to stay, whether we like it or not. How you adopt it is very important. So you adopt technology, buy equipment, stay away from, move away from the crude old with the way that we used to do it, the manual ways. Adopt technology, increase your infrastructure, adopt collaboration, create room for collaboration, allow people to come. Don't say you want to do it alone. You don't want people to see your business. No, if you don't allow them, another agro-processor will allow them. So by so doing, you are losing business. So it's always good to create room for, collaboration. I produce, you sell. You give me raw material. I can partner with anybody. Let's bring in raw material. Let me package for you, brand in it does not stop my own brand to grow. And you must stay informed. Information, they say, is power. So with the social media now, you can get any information except you don't have data. And even if you don't have data, you can tap data from your friend somewhere and get information. You need to stay informed. What is obtainable in the market trend, the market analysis. What are they doing that I'm not doing right? Why is my business? So you do comparison. You compare what your product with your competitors. It's not a problem. What are they doing? How do they brand their own products? So why is their products? Get to know, insider information is what we call it. Get insider information and you improve on what you're doing. Otherwise, you'll be lagging behind and you keep asking yourself, what am I not doing right? Find out that those things that you are not doing right and ensure that you do it correctly. Next slide, please. So in the next 3, 4, 5 years, where do we see ourselves as agro-processors? We see ourselves in a situation where we harvest from the farm, their farm, and we load the machine with cassava, and we wait at the other hand to get the garri. Technology at work. Less human intervention. Yes, nobody will take away anybody's job, but you also need to, brace up to align with the advancements of technology. So in the next 3, 4, 5 years, agro-processing business will get to a level where the productivity will be massive, where we'll be able to compete favorably well in the global space, where we'll be able to contribute to the development of our economy. We need to adopt the use of technology to scale up our business. At a point in time, it will get to a time now that people will not be looking for how well your product is being packaged, what is the content of your product. They want to know the nutritional value of your product. People will get more informed. Many years ago, before the establishment of NAFDAC, nobody knew what expiring day or production dates looks like. What are they selling? I buy, I take it to the kitchen, I eat. That's it. But when NAFDAC came on board, we were very conscious. We became very conscious of production dates, expiring dates. Even the informal sector, the informal people, they know when did they produce it? When is it going to expire? I cannot hit it because it will soon expire. Things like that. So we are getting to that level where they will look at the nutritional content, the nutritional value of your product. What is in it for me? So you will not just produce. You won't just be producing. So you'll be very conscious of what you produce. That's where agro-processing will be in the nearest future. Next slide, please. Welcome to Abebi Foods Limited. This is our factory. This is where we produce. This is where we add value to agricultural products, agricultural produce, and this is where we sell and distribute nationwide and to our customers in diaspora. So we add value here and we increase the marketability of our products. We increase the pricing of the products based on what we bought from the farm. And this is a typical agro-processing factory. Next slide. So At our factory, we have 6 products and 2 other products in the pipeline. Hopefully, by January, hopefully, we will be launching the 2 new products that we have in the pipeline. We have yam flour, we have white gari, we have pando, plantain flour, brown beans, beans flour, and plantain flour. These are the products that we are selling now, and by January, we will be launching our sorghum plantain and our rice flour. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share my experience on this call. And my name is Adebisi Olatunde once again. I'm available for your questions, and I'll be glad to provide answers. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please, can we appreciate our presenter, the resource person? Please, can we appreciate her for such a great work that she did. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. She needs it. She needs it immensely. She has done fantastically well. And like I did mention when we started, that indeed you're going to get value. One of the most challenging challenge that farmers have, their problem is issue of post-harvest loss. And here value is being added on how to do that. But something I got in this presentation is the fact that there are a whole lot, but the take home, one of the take home for me is the fact that you don't need to be great to start. I mean, but you need to start to be great. It taught me was a take home. You don't need to be great to get started, but you need to start in order to be great. And you may have a huge plan on how to get involved in all of these businesses. But the fact that, how do I start? You looked at for one value. You said something in this meeting, ma'am, that one thing that needs to be done is you look at for other businesses. You can buy from someone that value addition, buy other products, you can relabel. There are ways to think that over time you can grow and then move into, you know, someone had questions sometime in the past. They said, how can you eat an elephant? If you kill an elephant, how do you eat an elephant? And all of us were wondering. But he said, no, you eat elephant one bite at a time. And before you know it, you will finish elephant. Bam, thank you so much. You've done justice more than I can ever imagine. Thank you for being here. There are questions, there are fantastic questions there and appreciation. Someone has said that, look, man, that this is the best that she can ever imagine, that this is indeed a masterclass. You've done that. Well, we'll move quickly. There are questions for you. There are several of them I've already seen to ask you, but we'll bring in our resource person, the other person. He's already on call here. And then at the end of it, or we take the entire question, the stretch of them, both one for you and both one for him. And now we'll bring in our next person, our resource person who is already seated here. And he's a very young, vibrant gentleman that I so much appreciate. In fact, each time I see him on his branded clothes, I say, wow, that this is just a young entrepreneur that is inspiring life. Well, the next one we're bringing on is Olawole Rotimi Okoyemi. Olawole Rotimi Okoyemi is a leading agri entrepreneur. He's Chief Executive Officer and founder of JR Farms, a multinational family agribusiness company with operations in Nigeria, Rwanda, and Zambia. He holds a Bachelor of Arts and a Master of Arts from the University of Ilorin and an executive certificate in agribusiness from Lagos Business School. He's currently a PhD candidate at Wageningen University in Netherlands. With a kind permission and a variety overwhelming ovation, please join me and welcome on this call. You're welcome on board.
Thank you so much, Mr. Stanley, for the warm reception or introduction, and thank you so much, everyone connecting from and organizers of the event. Thank you for bringing me on board this masterclass session here. Yeah, I'm Olawale Rotimi. I do not have a presentation. Rather, I'll be speaking offhand to the topic. My name is Olawale Rotimi Okoyemi, and I work for JR Farms as the CEO. Just like Mr. Stanley said, JR Farms is a multinational agribusiness company, and we have operations in Nigeria, Rwanda, and Zambia. We're not so large. We're in the 11th year of operations as a business. And majorly, we focus on agro-processing and food retailing, basically as a company. The topic I've been given to speak to is the business of agro-processing and value addition. And I'll be speaking more from my experience around this topic. First, and I'll be speaking also to more of the young populace or young participants who have also joined, more like experience sharing around it. First thing I would like to speak about is the place of knowledge in the food processing and agribusiness value chain, which is a major missing link in our ecosystem in Nigeria and of course in Africa as it were. A lot of course, we know the average age of an African farmer is between 55 and 60 years. So there's a growing population of farmers in Africa, and there's a need for a lot of young people to get into agribusiness. It's become mandatory. This trend is not only in Africa, but also in every part of the world. If you go out into different parts of the world, you realize that a lot of farmers are getting old, and then a lot of young people needs to be recruited into the agri ecosystem. Yeah, unfortunately, not many young people are interested in the agri value chain, and we have growing populations just as we have in Africa, and also we have across the world a massively growing population of people, that needs to be fed, and then these people will not be fed without us getting involved in agriculture. But one of the biggest challenges I've seen, for example, of course, is the knowledge gap. In Africa, for example, a lot of young people, we have seen a lot of failed ventures. We have seen a lot of ventures that have not gone really far because of the knowledge gap. You see, all of our young people are getting into agribusiness, they're getting into food value chain, processing, etc. But the knowledge gap is very, very massive. You see a lot of failed businesses because of knowledge gap. For example, I remember the first agribusiness I ever did, which was a cooperative, failed, not necessarily because the model was not nice, but because I lacked knowledge. You see what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of agribusiness ventures which had money, which had a lot of resources, which had a lot of market network, but they lack some other knowledge around the industry, and they failed woefully, So I really always emphasize this because it remains a major gap in processing, in agro-processing and value chain. You need to understand the ecosystem. You need to understand the challenges around the project or the venture you want to go to in the agribusiness value chain. It's very, very important. And why is it important? Because value chain is a lot complex. There are a lot of connectivities around value chain. For example, you have in processing, for example, you are dealing with multiple components in factory operations. As a company, we operate factories, for example. I take, for example, our feed mill factory in Zambia. You have the machinery component, you have the raw material component, you have the packaging component, you have the logistics component. So in this value chain, you are dealing with a lot of components, and there's a need for you to understand, to have deep knowledge of these operations for you to succeed in it. What we see on this side is a lot of young people, a lot of practitioners, and that's why we have a lot of failed projects in this ecosystem. A lot of them don't understand, don't have deep knowledge of all these operations. It's very, very important to have this knowledge, which is the first challenge I'm going to talk about. The second thing is the need to pilot. I am in a position where I also mentor a lot of young people, and I have reasons to interact with a lot of people in agri value chain. Sometimes I've seen a lot of big projects that fail, because people don't pilot. They don't do things within their capacity. A lot of times you find people say, okay, I want to start this agribusiness, and then they start on the very large notes. They start this project on a very big scale, and you find out that they don't have the capacity to run it. In agriculture or in agribusiness value chain, it's very important to have a pilot. A pilot is very important. If you want, let's say you want to be a poultry farmer, why do you have to start with 10,000 birds to do what you have never done before? Why not start, for example, with 1,000 birds, learn with 1,000 birds and scale from there? If you want to be a cassava processor, why do you need to start your first cassava venture with 10 tons capacity per hour, when you can start with 1 tons capacity per hour and learn from that. So there's always a need to pilot. There's need for you to start from somewhere and scale from there. It's very, very important. Across the continent, this has remained a major problem. For example, I've seen this happen in other countries like Rwanda, like Zambia, like Malawi, where you find a lot of young people. Young people were very ambitious, which is not bad. But you find a lot of these ambitious projects come and then they collapse the same way they have come, because there's no capacity to match the project that has been invested in. So there's always a need to pilot. The pilot is a learning phase where you are learning the heart of what you're trying to do. It's very, very important. Today now, we're talking about the 11th year of operations of GR Farms, but we're not like this 11 years ago. We have 14 shops, coffee shops across the continent, but we didn't start with 14 shops on the day one. We started with one. I remember during COVID, we shut down all our shops. Some of them couldn't reopen even after COVID. So you need to understand the need to pilot, the need to start gradually. You need to start gradually and go in phases. It's very, very important, because for every project, there's a need for management. And the bigger the project, the bigger the management request for that project. In the business of agribusiness, I see a lot of people just go into and say, no, there's no problem, we're going to get it done, etc. You have to apply business principles. You need to take it one after the other. So this is the next thing, which is very key, that people need to pilot. Young people are going to the venture, not only young people, even people who are older, who are going to agribusiness. You need to pilot, because agribusiness is a risky business. You don't want to learn in the costly way, which is very important to also mention. Thirdly is the need to understand the market. I see a lot of people come to me and say, I want to start this agribusiness. And I ask them, who are you going to sell to? For example, let's take, for example, people say, I want to start a Gari factory. And you ask them, why are you going to sell your Gari to? And they say, no. Gari is a common food. Everybody is eating Gari. Then I ask them another question. Everybody is eating Gari, but before you started your own Gari factory, were they not eating Gari? Have you ever asked yourself where the Gari they were eating was coming from before you started your own factory? If you don't start your factory, are they not going to keep eating Gari? They're going to keep eating Gari, but it's not going to be your Gari. So you need to establish a market. I see a lot of people get into agribusiness with the mindset of there's a market. People eat food now. We all eat every day. Of course, we all eat every day. But what makes you feel that is your food they want to eat every day? It's a very, very important element. So it's very important to also establish your own concrete market. It's very important to establish your own concrete market. Who are the target audience you are looking at? Where are they? How are you going to get them? Don't open that agribusiness. Don't open that factory with the assumption that people are eating. People are going to buy it. Businesses don't run on assumptions. They run on concrete evidences, which is very, very important. So I always tell a lot of young people and people getting into agribusiness, you need to establish your market. It's very, very important. Your market needs to be established. You need to ensure that you know the people. You need to do your price modeling. It's very, very important. What is your costing? What is your landing cost? What are you going to be selling to the market? How do you want to get this product to the market? Are you going to be using distributors? Do you want to do B2C or B2B? You need to fashion all these things out in details. Yeah, Mr. Stanley, you want to say something?
Okay, yes. Thank you, because part of the things I wanted to ask you, all right, as you've really touched them, and to still give you an opportunity to talk more because of time, I really address some issues as we are discussing. And now, your organization, right, is in Nigeria, Rwanda, and Zambia, which makes it an international organization. Now, how did you start, and how can someone who is aspiring to become like you, who wants to grow his business, into their own, what steps can such an individual take if I want to delve fully into what you're doing now? So how do I move in order to overcome the obstacles or the hiccups that are seemingly on the way? Just in a minute.
Okay, I think I mentioned that earlier, and that's the point of piloting. We didn't start from 3 countries. We started from 1. And the one we also started from a village. So we need to start from somewhere. That's the importance of piloting. It's good to have big dreams. It's good to have a dream to become a global company, but please start local. I always tell people, start from somewhere. So the way we started, of course, a family business between my wife and I. She's joyful. I'm rooting. That's why we came about JR. So yeah, so we said it's a family business. We started together. She bakes while I do the co-agri business. So we came together that way, and then we kept pushing. So start from where you are with what you have. I remember she was delivering cakes to customers, which are initially family and friends, and gradually we started moving up like that and growing the business. Yeah, so I would say the answer to that is to pilot at least from where you are. You're on mute, Mr. Stanley. You're on mute.
Oh, sorry about I'm on mute. All right. So we'll hold it there. Thank you so much for that insight right there, having provided in the speech. But we'll hold it there. Well, when we return, we'll look at the Q&As and then ask the question that have been asked by the participants on this call. So when we return, we will look.
There's a story to be told, a future to behold. There is more to who we are than what they hear. We have love within our soul, fire in our bones. We've got everything it takes to make it here. There's much more within our soil, more than just our oil. We can grow the food to feed the whole world.
Yeah, welcome back. Thank you for that. You're welcome back to this call. In case you are joining, this is Value Addition. This is a Business of Agriculture Masterclass, heavily sponsored by United Nations Private Sector Advisory Group, Cluster 5 here in Nigeria. And this is a Business of Agriculture Masterclass to provide us with opportunities on how we can leverage the quantum opportunities in agriculture and how to create wealth and then better nutrition. And with me here today, doing justice to this particular section is Retimi, who is the founder and the co-founder of JR Farms. He's here, and at the same time, Mrs. Olatunde Adebisi, who is also the CEO of Adebi Foods Limited. You're welcome. Now, let's look at the Q&A sessions. Let's look at the Q&A sessions as we are here right now. I think there are questions that need to be asked, and this is directly to. Okay, this is from Bridget Mokolo. Bridget Mokolo asked, he said, please, how can we get the audio for all sections? Most of us here are having challenges. Please, Bridget, if you can hear me, all right, all you need to do to get this is to check up the Facebook of PSAG. You will see the masterclass, the replay of all the sections. You always get them there, both the Facebook and that of the YouTube. You will get all the sessions, and the ones that we are still going to have, you will still get them. Okay. So the next question, before we have the spotlight, quickly go there. The next question, it says that what type of, is coming from Sadatu Jamea Yusuf, said what types of or kinds of crops do you process and brand? What type of crops do you process and brand? It's coming from Jamie, it's Sadatu Jamea. If you can hear me, Mr. Debisi, you can answer.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so like I said earlier, we're into basically Nigerian food stuff. So we partner with farmers, kind of at growers, and we offtake their cassava, or ripe plantain, beans from the north, and we process into flour, because all our products are basically flour. So those are the products that we do. We convert agricultural produce to flour-based, semi-finished products.
So the question is not just for you, but generically. It's asking what kinds of crops can be processed? Yeah.
Well, I think JR
no, sorry.
To answer that, because he's a farmer, but I'm into agro-processing, basically.
Okay. The next question quickly before we bring in the next person. It says coming from Joanne. All right, Joanne said, you talked about starting small. How do we, who intend to go in added agricultural products, go about NAFDAC registration number?
Mr. Stanley, can you come again? Can you repeat that question, please?
So I'll take it again. The question says, you talked about starting small. How does one to go into value-added agricultural products go about NAFDAC registration number? It's all about how do I access, how do I get, with all the bottlenecks and all that, how best can I access NAFDAC number?
Okay, like I said earlier, that if you want to start a business, you start small. And I think Olawale also mentioned something like that. You start small. Before you get to NAFDAC stage, you need to start marketing your product and ensure the acceptability of your product in the market first before you go into NAFDAC, because NAFDAC is even now seamless, or like before. If you have your documentation, the first thing you do before you can register with NAFDAC, you must have a registered company. You must have your document, because an accredited public analyst must be able to verify and confirm the nutritional value of your products. If you have your documents, NAFDAC is not a problem now. Before now, there could be bottlenecks, but now it's seamless. They operate on NAPAMs now. So everything is online. The only thing NAFDAC staff will come to your office to do is inspection, because you must have a structure. You must have a facility that is exclusive of production, that is meant for your production. You cannot carve out a room in your 2-bedroom apartment or 3-bedroom apartment and you want to start production and you want NAFDAC to give you approval. They won't do that. You must have a facility. And for those of you that are just starting and you don't have a facility, you can always partner. There's this incubation center. There are incubation centers in all states where you can go, you can leverage on that. They give you approval, they give you NAFDAC number based on the incubation center. But very importantly, you must have quality products and a registered number, a registered business before you can get your NAFDAC number. It's very simple now, especially if you can sign into NAPAMs, their platform where they do the registration now. I hope I've been able to answer that question very well.
Okay, ma'am, thank you so much for that insight. Yes. I thank you for that question. I think you've done justice to it by even talking about value, the nutritional value. Since it's food, you need to understand the nutritional value, what you are providing. I can see Akiola has said that, look, the network is really pretty bad today for him and some others who have not been able to come in. All right. So, well, we can understand that. Now, while we are still on here, permit me to bring in, have a spotlight. Taiwo will be doing that to us now, right? A spotlight right now. Please, if that's available, because there are several questions for our time, please let's have that spotlight right now, because we are on that. Please, can we bring Taiwo in? Let's have.
Can you hear me? Good afternoon.
I can hear you.
All right, sir. Good afternoon, and good afternoon to the participants. It's good to be here. My name is Taiwo Kentadibayo. Well, I'll still maintain Taiwo Yola because it's a recent change of name, so as to put face to the name. All right, so thank you for having me, NNF and BATNF as well. So very quickly, I'll introduce myself. Like I said, I'm Taiwo Kent, and I am the managing director and the founder of Considian V Foods. So what we do at Considian V Foods is actually an agribusiness with focus on beekeeping and bee products. So when we talk about bee products, it's not just about honey, bee wax inclusive, propolis inclusive, royal jelly and bee venom inclusive. And I'm also one of the winner. I'm the winner of the first edition of Farmers for the Future, which is actually a youth program by BATNF, British American Tobacco Nigeria Foundation, and implemented by New Nigeria Foundation. I think that was in 2019, yeah. So, and like I said, it's good to be here. So very quickly, I'll just tell you about the business. Like I said, at the moment, we're on the production state of producing bee products. And this is not just about honey, it's about other businesses as well. I mean, other products in the beehives. And I've mentioned them earlier. And also, I would like to acknowledge or give kudos to my mentors, my boss that are on this platform, because one way or the other, I've gone through, if not all of them, most of them. Mr. Rotimi, I celebrate you, sir, and every other person on the platform, on the panelists. Thank you so much. So you want to ask me in the business, have I had challenges? I'll say yes, because yes, agribusiness, like Mr. Lawale said, that start small, and there are challenges that comes even with the starting small and even growing, trying to, grow. And in my challenges, I would like to share the things that have helped me so far. So far, so good. The number one, I would say the right mentorship and let me say support system around me actually have helped so far in the, in running the business. So one of the mentors, NNF connected me, that's New Nigeria Foundation connected me to. I've been one of the key ones that have been a kind of support system so far, and also communities. And when I mean communities, I am not only talking about the WhatsApp group. Yes, WhatsApp group inclusive, there are agri-based communities you get. And also, we also have physical ones where you have meetings and all of that. Those help, there's a way they ginger you to do more and also to grow more. Still talking about communities, I'll talk about growing outside, outside Nigeria. So when we grow your communities, don't be too local, because then in Nigeria, I would say that one thing that has been, especially for beginners or for people that are just growing, is the way we try to contain ourselves in a local environment or in a box. Let me put it that way. I don't feel happy when I see the agri opportunities, let's say a job or something, and you see the salary range and it's not really enticing. But then doesn't mean that there are no people in this sector. So you can come in any way. You want to work, it's good with an agribusiness. You want to be in the production sector, you want to be in the retailing sector, whatever it is. But there is a way we can present ourselves, and level ourselves so that we have opportunity to the bigger cash. Let me put it that way. So we don't have to stay low. So one of the things is being in communities that matters. And so far, so good. That has helped me. It has helped me grow, and it has helped me. It served as like a guide to me. All right. So apart from the community, I would say collaboration. So I know collaboration, it happens to be a word that people use. There's a way we just use collaboration, and we just use it like a term that we use anyhow, let me put it that way. But many of us, especially in the agribusiness, do not really act on that collaboration. So I'll give an example. So when you say collaboration, a lot of people see it as maybe a competition or a state of, I don't want you to know about my business, the in and out of my business. That's not just about collaboration. So I'll give an example. This morning, I got a call to supply 20,000 liters of honey. And this is going to the export market. It's not going to be in Nigeria. And to be sincere, 20,000 liters is not something I can single-handedly say that I want to just focus on and do on my own. If I say I want to do, that means it take like maybe 2 years to do. All right. So one thing I had to do is to look into my network. Yeah, network of being active, the active network that I have, not someone I met online or something. These are people that we've worked together and all of that. I will be working together to achieve this common goal, and everybody wins at all sides. They win, I win. So collaboration has also helped me so far in, achieving a lot, especially when it comes to my business. So please let me know if I have more time.
If it is in a church program, you will say you are right in the spirit. You are in the spirit. And so I thank you for the insight. I thank you for your passion. And I know that if time were to be a luxury, in this, you will talk as much as possible because you have enough to offer. So I want to thank you for being here because we do not have this time again. The time is as we speak.
Please, I really want to mention. Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, what did you say?
Yeah, I said, please, I really want to say one more thing, please.
Please, by all means.
So a part that Mr. Wale mentioned that I like to emphasize is having practice as agribusiness, starting up or even on the field already. We need to learn more. And not just practical training. We need to learn, go about practical trainings and not just YouTube videos. Most of us rely on YouTube videos and try to implement it, of which it might not work. Especially, I've seen that upon in beekeeping in the sector that I belong to. And I want to encourage everyone to go on to practical training, do the training of field training and get more practical trainings rather than the YouTube videos. Yeah, thank you, sir, for the opportunity.
Thank you so much for being here. Please, can we appreciate Taiwo for being part of this program for her spotlight, please. We need to thank her. Well, the time they say runs fast when people are having fun in this section. Please, I want to thank everyone of us for being here, and especially Mrs. Foods Limited. We are grateful. Thank you for being here. Essentially, you have been here all from the inception up until this day. So we're very great. Thank you to you. I don't know. I want you to give a parting word. What's the last word you want to say this as we wrap up this session now?
Well, I want to say thank you to PSAG for organizing this kind of program. And I also want to advise or suggest that it should be a continuous one. It shouldn't be a one-off thing. So because it's really loaded. And my parting word will be that for all aspiring entrepreneurs or existing agro-processors, we should make quality our watchword. And those that want to venture into agro-processing, you don't have to start big, like Wale said. Start with what you have from where you are. You will grow. Financial institutions will come for expansion, and you begin to tell success story. Agro-processing is a very lucrative business if you are focused and you know what you're doing and you are consistent and you develop the spirit of never give up. You will go places in agro-processing world. Thank you.
Okay, while you hold on that, before I call in thank you so much. Before I call in Mr. Oluwale Rotimi, please, I am sure, let's look at the poll please, the participants, can we, let's look at the poll. Let's look at the feedback. Want to have a feedback from participants, what is being done. Please, on here, chats. Let's have our comments. Let's have our comments. Let's look at the feedbacks we are having. Okay, someone has said here, let's have our comments. Please, let's look at, okay, the poll. Please, let's take our poll here, please. It's important we have our feedback. It's important. Just take out a few minutes. Just take out a few seconds, and then let's get your feedback in this. It's important, all right, as part of this program. It's important we have this, please. Just take out a few seconds and then get this, and we'll wrap up the program. Wrap up this section, and then move into ocean of opportunities, which is the next section that is coming. But in the interim, please, the question after attending this session, from fields to branch, do you feel more equipped to engage in agro-processing and value chain activities? There's multiple choices, your choice to answer, right? There are questions. Okay.
Okay,
I can't
I
get
just want to ask, sorry to Stanley, can you hear us? I think the network is not fluid on your side, but would like to appreciate Mrs. Adebisi Olatunde and also JR Farms as well. So while the poll is going on, Mr. Rotimi Olawale can give his parting words. I think there's a bit of a delay in the network for Mr. Stanley Eche. Thank you very much. Mr. Rotimi Olawale, you can give your parting
Mr.
words.
Rotimi. It's not a good time. It's not a good time. Mr. Rotimi, are you there? Please, what's your parting word? What's the last thing you need to say to us?
Okay, well, we guess Mr. Rotimi's network is not so good. I think it is a general problem. Let me put it that way. Well, we've learned on fields to brands, the business of agro-processing and value addition. There's awesome feedback from the comment section. Thank you everyone for your engagement. Someone was asking Mrs. Adebisi at some point on bad days, what keeps you going, what has kept you going, because of the story shared, and Mr. Rotimi as well, also shared his story, although there's a bit of a network issue. So please, I would like to implore the panelists, if you could go through the Q&A. There's so many questions, and I think one of the feedback we got was that we're asking so many questions and we're not getting responses. So please, would like to crave your indulgence. Ms. Adebisi, there's so many questions for you. Someone is asking, can you be an off-taker for farm produce like plantain and sweet potato? Please respond directly. Somebody was asking also for a baby limited address for cassava of taking. Mr. Rotimi, there are also questions for you. Please would ask that you respond to them directly. Thank you so much. Over to you, Stanley.
Okay, thank you, Tosin. Thank you for that comment and interjection. It's actually a good one. So at this point, I want to thank everyone, Mr. Debisi, for being part of this program from the session to this day on this call. Please, this is not a special time with you for the spotlight. At least today I can see that you are a bee farmer. Thank you everyone for being here. This is not the end of this program. It is not the end of the masterclass. We still have another opportunity, another section that I want everyone to be part of. Indeed. So in this program, that's the session is on the ocean of opportunity. I mean, that alone is a bookseller, is a bestseller. All right, that talks about what the ocean, all right, of opportunities, the business of agriculture. That is going to come up right at exactly 1 p.m. this afternoon. In a few moments time, it's already for 12:30. So in about 30 minutes, you should join up to that section. So please be part of it. And there's going to be it's going to be a huge time, right? Value will be added as usual. Please, as we wrap up this, I want you to appreciate all our guests, all the resource persons, beginning from Mrs. Adebisi Olunde, Mr. Rotimi Olawale, and of course, Taiwo Kent. You know, you can appreciate them with emojis, you can appreciate them with their kind words, and of course, tell them how you love them and how value have been added to you in this particular call. I want to thank every one of you and expect that, just like Tosin said, indeed, in fact, there's one question somebody had to ask from Plateau State, all right? I didn't say it very clearly, but it's talking about that the business of agriculture is about, please, if you have opportunity to go through that and answer that question directly, please, let's do that. So once again, thank you. And then we'll be meeting in the next 30 minutes to look at the business, the ocean of opportunities, the business of agriculture. Thank you so much. Tosin, please, over to you as end of this. Thank you.
Square. Agriculture is the key. There's treasure in the trees. The time is now. The land is green. Wealth is here. This is our nation. This is our land. Nigeria is ours. We have everything we need. If we could only see. The time is now. The land is green. Wealth is here. There are 200 billion dreams. Any one of these is able There's a story to be told, a future to behold. There is more to who we are than what they hear. We have love within our soul, fire in our bones. We've got everything it takes to make it here. There's much more within our soil, more than just our oil. We can grow the food to feed the whole world square. Agriculture is the key. There's treasure in the trees. The time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. This is our nation, this is our land. Nigeria is ours. We have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. There are 200 billion dreams. Any one of these is able to begin a spark and change the world. There's innovation everywhere, from Aba to Ife to Kaduna. The land is green, the wealth is here. Yeah, this is our nation, this is our land. Yeah. Nigeria is ours. We have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, the wealth is here. If you take a look around, from the north to south, there are opportunities to make it here. But if all you ever dream is to go overseas, tell me how you'll ever know that wealth is here. Oh, yeah, oh. This is our nation, this is our land. Oh, Nigeria is ours. We have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. So pass on the baton, pass on the torch. Nigeria is ours. We have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. Oh yeah. So this is our nation, this is our land. Oh yeah. Nigeria is ours. We have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. There's a story to be told, a future to behold. There is more to who we are than what they hear. We have love within our soul, fire in our bones. We've got everything it takes to make it here. There's much more within our soil, more than just our oil. We can grow the food to feed the whole world square. Agriculture is the key. There's treasure in the trees. The time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. This is our nation, this is our land. Nigeria is ours. We have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. There are 200 billion dreams. Any one of these is able to begin a There's a story to be told, a future to behold. There is more to who we are than what they hear. We have love within our soul, fire in our bones. We've got everything it takes to make it here. There's much more within our soil, more than just our oil. We can grow the food to feed the whole world square. Agriculture is the key. There's treasure in the trees. The time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. This is our nation, this is our land. Nigeria is ours. We have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. There are 200 billion dreams. Any one of these is able to begin a spark and change the world. There's innovation everywhere, from Aba to Ife to Kaduna. The land is green, the wealth is here. Yeah, this is our nation, this is our land. Yeah. Nigeria is ours. We have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, the wealth is here. If you take a look around, from the north to south, there are opportunities to make it here. But although you ever dream is to go overseas, tell me how you'll ever know that wealth is here. Oh, yeah, oh. This is our nation, this is our land. Oh, Nigeria is ours. We have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, the wealth is here. So pass on the baton, pass on the torch. Nigeria is ours. We have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, the wealth is here. Oh yeah. So this is our nation, this is our land. Oh, Nigeria is ours. We have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. There's a story to be told, a future to behold. There is more to who we are than what they hear. We have love within our soul, fire in our bones. We've got everything it takes to make it here. There's much more within our soil.
Good afternoon once again, everyone. So our next session will be starting at 1 o'clock. And so please, we want everyone to log out so we can rejoin by 12:50. This session will end by 12:50. So you can log in again for the next session, An Ocean of Opportunities by Mr. Shijiru Michael. Thank you.